looks like we're finally getting ready to start. This is a, depending on the kind of player, either a really fun matchup to watch or a really, really boring one to watch.
Definitely, yeah.
And I'm hoping that knee right from the start is telling us that it will be the fun kind.
I hope so as well.
Because these are two characters who can really struggle approaching one another. And unfortunately, when two characters can't approach, sometimes there can be a tendency for a little bit of camping. But I don't think that's what we're going to see here, as we've seen pretty much one huge combo from Wizzrobe to start out this set.
So at this point, I gotta give shoutouts to my man Käse from Germany.
Yeah.
When we were seeing, I think it was Wizzrobe play against Amsa earlier. I think it was Wizzrobe against Amsa. He basically tweeted out that, in German though, he tweeted out that Falcon gets everything for free on Sheik.
That sounds like a salty man.
Yeah, yeah. He is a salty Sheik player who also has a difficult time playing against Falcon because, especially I think with the development that Falcon has taken in the past like 2 to 3 years, this matchup is not as one-sided as Hex Money would have led you to believe in the early 2010s.
Honestly, back in 2010, this was believed strongly in Sheik's favor, and now we're talking even, dead even, honestly. Because
especially in PAL.
Yes, and both of these characters have amazing crouch cancels and not great tools to beat the crouch cancel, you know? So that's what can kind of lead to the impasse sometimes with the more defensive players. But this set, we've seen a lot of action, and Wizzrobe is the one who's come up on top, being 3 stocks to 2 here.
Oh my god.
Nice little combo. Sends him off stage, and
Wizzy calling him out on trying to go for the ledge.
And, you know, it's one of those things where you go onto the stage, you're going to eat a ledge hop stomp into knee, you know. Almost every time you have to up B and you can't get to the ledge, you should expect to die.
And that's also something that Wizzy and the 20GX Falcons brought to the table, because that was nothing, like, it looks so simple and so easy, and I think we should have thought of this in like 2002 already.
Yes.
But before the 20GX Falcons, I rarely saw someone do that to punish the up B from Sheik.
Exactly.
They just went for the knee straight away. Which is not optimal.
No, it's not.
Which is not what these guys are about. Swedish losing the first game, 3 stocks.
A little bit of a head shake there from him, and like a not too impressed sort of slight half smile from Wizzrobe. So I think not the best performance from Swedish. I think he's a little bit disappointed. I think there was a bit of acknowledgement on that from Wizzrobe that this isn't the strongest that he's seen his American colleague here.
And I think Swedish kind of feels robbed of his low percent punish game on Falcon, because the down throw to tech chase in NTSC is so strong for Sheik.
It's much easier to land. Ooh,
now that he's got him at
now
59.
Wizzy off stage, but he does the bold as anything once again. That is when you know you've gone full circle, right? When you first start playing the game, you get thrown off the stage, and without thinking about it, you jump back in and you beat. And it's so established now that no one does it anymore because it's so bad. But it's all the way around, and now we're seeing it. We're seeing the most basic level 1 trick, and we're calling it fantastic, intelligent decision making.
I think we looped in Yomi.
We've gone round another level for sure. Oh, that was really nice stuff from Wizzy. Even here, start to this game. Wizzy off the stage. Oh, manages to get his block out in time. That was critical.
Yeah, definitely. Though I think a crouch cancel would have been enough.
Yes.
Or would have been even better maybe than shield, you know, in that situation.
Good point. So, you know, if he ended up getting hit out of the air, it would have been very devastating for him.
Exactly.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Wizzrobe. He taked the down smash.
Oh, and just
same
how he
setup.
Just how he ended the set with Professor Pro. This was no mistake. Swedish Delight has the setups to get those edge guards against the fast faller characters. And yeah, it's even Stevens, both at 0%, 2 stocks. Ooh, Swedish Delight with great spacing on Wizzrobe, anticipating the shield and dash dancing around it to get his grab eventually, leading up to 50% on Wizzrobe already in the stock. Yeah,
being able to break that crouch cancel is so key in this matchup, as I've touched upon before.
And you know, he broke that crouch cancel out of 1 mind game on his opponent, so that's the type of player that Swedish Delight is. You know, it was very simple move choice, but he makes his opponent just look worse.
Yes, he does.
And I love players like this, because my teacher in Melee, the one who taught me everything I know from the get-go, Luma, an old-school German player, he's the exact same type of player. And he loves to watch Swedish Delight.
Great way to block there from Wizzrobe. Great coverage there as well with stomps. First one, definitely a read. Second one, hedging his bets more so. And that big combo builds up the percent, allows him to finish it off with that back air. Yes, that's...
Oh my god!
My
And he
Lord.
catches Swedish off guard so bad with that edge guard.
I'm sure Swedish probably looked at that and thought, okay, he's crouching, but you know, what's the worst that can happen if I get up attack here?
He will grab me, right?
He found out what's the worst that can happen right there. It's pretty damn bad.
And that's the downside of going to a stage like Fountain of Dreams. You know, it's a very small stage, and Falcon has the potential to carry you off stage and out of the frame of the entirety of the stage so quickly on those small stages.
Yeah.
But Swedish Light doesn't seem to care because he goes to Yoshi's Story, a stage where it's even worse.
Yes. Wizzrobe was trying to box him into the corner, but Swedish managed to escape, making a little bit of use of that platform there.
So Wizzrobe looking like he's going to get his revenge against Leffen from the winner's semis, while Swedish Light really struggling to keep up with Wizzy's explosive punish game.
Yeah, we've seen it a few times. There's two sets actually we've seen this from Swedish. When he's playing against Armada, and now when he's playing it here. In the game, you know, if you just look at the gameplay, it feels like he's keeping up. He really is contesting and sometimes beating his opponent. But then when it comes to just the end of the match and the actual scoreboard, he isn't getting there, you know.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Though in the first game, he has been 3-stocked, and in the second game, he kept it so respectable, just like he does right now. But that's what I'm talking about. Wizzrobe's punish game, so explosive, Swedish Light not being able to DI properly out of it, you know. He gets hit by all the important hits, you know, all the key hits that Wizzrobe lands on Swedish Light, who is opting to go for smaller and smaller stages as the set goes on because he wants to, you know, get Falcon out of his comfort zone of maneuverability around the stage.
Yeah.
This bites him in the back because now he dies so quickly.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Ooh, a stage like Yoshi's can always be a double-edged sword because, you know, if you're ahead, it can be great. You keep your opponent scared, you keep them boxed in, but if you're the one who's scared and if you're the one who's boxed in, then suddenly it feels way, way worse than any other stage.
Oh, Swedish Light going for a tournament winner. Wizzrobe, of course, not expecting the weird option, you know, not punishing for it. Which is something that I think a lot more players could use to their advantage when they're playing against players like Wizzrobe, who he's not playing that long, you know, he's not that kind of veteran player.
Yeah.
So and he's expecting. Ooh, Wizzrobe!
Stop there, SD unforced, I would call that.
Oh, and another one of those semi SDs. This time on Swedish Light's part. 3-0 for Wizzrobe, who is now up against Leffen.
Yeah.
And it looks like he gets a break.